Hello, hello. Welcome back to another Legacy CNC video. Today we're going to kick right into producing the next components for the Asian-styled wall shelf. Now today we're going to be producing the actual vertical upright component that these shelves are connecting to. This is an interesting part. So let's go see how this is done on the Maverick 4x4 CNC system. Let's get going. This vertical upright is going to end up being curved and have a nice organic shape to it. So to ensure I have plenty of clearance to carve and cut out this part, I like to oversize my blank so I don't have to worry about accidentally running into my fixtures. This hold down fixture is one of my favorites. It's using the low pro clamps combined with the T-slot table. But because this style of clamp is a side clamp, I need to accommodate for those pressures when I'm cutting out the part. So not only do I oversize the width of the blank to cut out the part, but I also oversize my length by an extra 2 inches. So I have areas for the clamps where the parts don't get cut out between the clamping pressure. Now this part's only going to use 2 cutters. The first is a 1/2 inch extended core box cutter, and the second is the same one we used in producing the shelves of the dados, and that is a 3/8 down spiral cutter. We're going to use the core box to carve the top face of this part. Now one thing I like to keep in mind when I'm carving is I always like to maximize the size of my ball cutter, because that means I'm cutting down on my carving time the bigger the cutter I can use. So the shape of this carving doesn't have any fine details to it, so I don't need to use something like an 1/8 inch ball cutter. But I also want to make sure I have plenty of clearance for my fixture, because I don't want to use a big giant 2-inch diameter ball cutter and run into the risk of hitting into my clamps. So this 1/2 inch ball cutter allows me to carve quickly, but also make it so I don't have to oversize my blank by a large amount. In total, it took about 3.5 minutes just to carve this top face. The default stepovers in the CAD/CAM software are typically between 8 and 10% when raster carving like this. When you're increasing your ball cutter though, I like to pull down that percentage anywhere between 3 and 5%. So that it's done quickly, but we still have a nice smooth finish, not a bunch of ridges that we have to sand out afterwards. When I'm laying out my toolpath strategies, I follow 2 rules. The first rule is, does this cutting process make the part unstable for future cutting processes? If it does, make sure that toolpath is pushed to the back of the line. For example, I wouldn't cut out my part and then try to do the 3D carving afterwards. The second rule I try to follow is try to minimize the number of tools I use in the program and the number of tool changes. So for example, the dado cuts for the shelves in the previous video were originally programmed to use a 1/4 inch down spiral cutter. However, this part I wanted to use a 3/8 cutter in order to have enough cut length to cut through the material. So I decided to swap out the 1/4 inch cutters on the shelves for this 3/8 down spiral. That way I only needed 1 cutter to produce all the dados for the entire project, as well as cutting out this part. Now let's see how these parts join together. For all the dado joints, I added a 5/1000 allowance to each face of the dados. But after trying to fit these parts together, I would increase that allowance up to 0.01 inches, 0.010 of an inch. It took some sanding to make these dado lap joints slide together nicely. The glue up for this is pretty straightforward. Just slap some glue on those contact surfaces for the dado lap joints. And in our prototype, we use screws to hold the shelves in place while the glue dries. A nail or clamp would work just as well. It's pretty cool that even on simple, small projects like this, how some complex joinery can make it come to life. It's pretty sweet. Now, projects like this, we are planning to release, and you can be notified on our website at legacywoodworking.com. Just scroll down to the bottom of the homepage and you can sign up for our email list, and we'll let you know when we got projects available for you. Now, if you're interested in learning more about a Legacy CNC system, also on that website, legacywoodworking.com, you can find more product information on our CNC machines. Obviously, there's a pile of videos here to watch here on our YouTube channel, so have fun doing so. And as always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next project video.